Welcome to LaughNapkin. Today I have 4 stories for episode 26 of r/EntitledParents. Want more stories from your favorite subreddits? Of course you do. Hit that subscribe button and bell for some of the best daily Reddit stories. Entitled Mom thinks I, the delivery driver, should tip her. On mobile, so if things go wonky, my attorney is accepting calls. After never dealing with an entitled parent in my life, I've now had 2 in the span of a few months. Normally a foul mouth, but I'll keep things clean for r/and LaughNapkin. So I'm a delivery driver for a major food delivery company in major college town in Texas where everyone loves maroon. Normally, it's not bad, pays pretty well, and customers are generally fine. Though, you'll always have idiots in every service job. This, however, surpassed anything I'd ever experienced before. I get an order alert on my phone. Relatively simple but expensive order. We drivers love expensive orders, from a restaurant nearby. In the portion for delivery instructions, the customer explains that I need to call her once I arrive, as ringing the doorbell, as I normally do, would disturb her autistic son. Okay, no problem at all. I received therapy for sensory issues when I was a kid, so I'm going to be even more sympathetic to that than the average person. I receive the order and drive over to the house, nice part of town, and give the customer a call. Younger woman answers, tells me to come up to the door. I do so, and enter the entitled mom, who, strangely, was fairly attractive, and did not have the typical Karen haircut. The cast: entitled mom, me, nice support lady. Me: here's your order, ma'am. Is there anything else I can help you with today? Entitled mom: yes, my son is autistic, and people like you don't understand how difficult it is to raise him. I shouldn't have to pay this much for food. Can you give me a discount? Me, baffled: I'm sorry, ma'am, but the app calculates your order total, not me. It's already been paid for. The entitled mom did not like that answer. Her face changed from a smug smirk into a snarl. I suppose I didn't realize how ridiculous the idea that people pay for their own food is. Entitled mom: well, why don't you pay for it then? I'm not sure if you heard, but my son is autistic, and it's your fault that he's still hungry. Me: I'm sorry, ma'am, but that goes against our policy. If I paid for your order, I'd probably be fired. Entitled mom: good. You're a useless driver anyway. You're disgusting. My son is starving to death. Since I've had to go through so much trouble with you, you should tip me. My app has a setting that while you're in the process of taking an order to a customer, they'll assign you another one at the same time if there's activity. Thankfully, this saves me here. Me: can't do that, ma'am. Here's your order. I dropped the food gently on the ground between us and jogged back to my car. She was shouting something unintelligible, so much for not disturbing her autistic son, but I couldn't make out what she was saying. Unsurprisingly, she left me a 1-star review. You tip online, so I got a small tip. I contacted support about it the next day. Me: yeah, I had a crazy lady yesterday, started demanding that I pay for her order, and even that I tip her. Really rude, not sure what the deal was. Oh, I knew what the deal was. That's why I'm here. Nice support lady: which order was it? Me: it was order number at address. Nice service lady: yikes, you're the 3rd person to complain about her. 1 or 2 we take with a grain of salt, but 3, you're probably out. I'll try to get her deactivated. If so, her review will be off your record. Me: thanks, appreciate it. I feel like the entire world is better off now that she won't be getting deliveries from us anymore. But was it worth the cost? That remains to be seen. Entitled mom demands I hire her daughter, and then demands I make her my partner. To preface, I own my own jewelry business. I have a couple stories that can be added here if there's interest. I was doing a small, local Celtic festival, and I was just starting out at the time. This was under my own purple 10x10 pop-up tent with detachable sidewalls. This minor detail comes into play later. Cast. You know, the usual suspects. Entitled mom, entitled daughter, me, darling husband. So the show is going, and I only have 2 sidewalls up to block the sun. I'm sitting behind the tables in the back, working on a custom order for a client. I'm in the corner where the sidewalls meet. Enter entitled mom and entitled daughter, who was about 15-ish. I can't tell, to be honest. My darling husband starts his typical chat and spiel with the mother. She tells him she's just looking. Entitled mom sees I'm working and starts to move items on my table so she can lean over this 2-foot wide table to see what I'm working on. I pop my head up and lift my magnifying goggles and say, excuse me ma'am, please don't rearrange my stock. Entitled mom, well, I can't see what you're doing. Me, I'm working on a client's custom necklace. If you need a hand, darling husband will happily assist you. Entitled mom, that doesn't look hard to do. You should hire my daughter. She makes paracord bracelets. Me, we're not hiring at the moment, but I'll keep your suggestion in mind. Entitled mom, well, she can do sales. You shouldn't have a male working selling jewelry. Darling husband's eyebrows go up and he rolls his eyes behind her back. Entitled daughter, mom, I want to buy this and this, picking a couple pairs of earrings and a necklace. Entitled mom, no sweetie, wait until you're an employee and use your discount. Me, I am sorry, but we're not hiring at the moment, and that male is my husband and business partner. Entitled mom huffs and grabs her daughter by the arm and starts to walk away. I nod to darling husband to chase after them to get product back from the entitled daughter. He comes back, and we chuckle over the situation and thought it was over. I was wrong, so wrong. 1 hour later, entitled mom comes back. Entitled mom, I've been watching you from over there, and you've sold a lot of jewelry. I can also see lots of people walking around with your bags. Me, okay, thanks. Entitled mom, so I think I should be your business partner. You can make everything and I'll sell it and keep half the money. Me, honestly, my mind went into blue screen of death mode and my jaw was on the ground. Darling husband, excuse me? Could you repeat that, ma'am? Entitled mom, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her. Me, finally rebooted brain. I'm sorry. I'm not looking for a partner right now. I already have one. Entitled mom, oh, he doesn't count. He's just your husband. He doesn't do anything. Me, okay, that's it. I stand up. Ma'am, I do not need or want a partner, and I'm not looking for an employee. This is a family business. Have a great day. Entitled mom stalks off. 10 minutes later, hubby goes off for a break. Suddenly, I hear a ripping noise as the sidewall gets ripped off my tent. I stand up ready to defend my cash box. It's her. She starts ranting at me in a high-pitched, scratchy voice. Honestly, at this point, I can barely pay attention to her words. She starts trying to grab at my tools while saying how she can sell my stuff for me and I need her. I scream for security and darling husband. I could see him 2 booths away. I turn to her, get your freaking hands off my stuff now and get out of my booth. Security came, heard me out first, and removed her from the festival. Later comparing notes, she tried this on another booth too. Cancer is contagious, according to dumb entitled parents. I have a cousin who was about 7 or 8. He always got colds and he was very sick before he was diagnosed with cancer. The day he was, it was very, very heartbreaking. He wasn't just my cousin, but him and his twin brother were like my own little brothers. He was diagnosed with a severe case of leukemia. This meant several trips out of town to the nearest children's hospital. Since he can't get sick, he has to wear a mask every time he goes and does his treatments. Because of this, everyone who was near him would back away or hide their kid. They would give my aunt dirty looks and talk about my cousin behind his back. It's understandable in a way because they don't know he has cancer. My aunt started getting annoyed by this, so she got a bumper sticker that clarifies that he has cancer and had some wristbands made. I remember my aunt told me that one parent even told her to back off because she doesn't want her kid to get sick. When this entitled parent found out my cousin actually had cancer, they scoffed and pulled their child away. It's frustrating even hearing it, but to actually live that, it's genuinely horrible. You would think that upon learning that he has cancer, their parents would relax a bit, but they still acted like he would get their precious angel sick with cancer. He's been bullied because of this and teased. We have a few anti-vax nut jobs in my town, so his chances of getting sick are even higher. He ended up with a bad case of the flu and had to be driven out of town, once again, to be treated. He's in remission now, but this fight isn't over. His twin brother now has to be looked after because he's showing similar symptoms. It's not as bad as other stories here, but it goes to show that uneducated parents really suck. My cousin is not contagious. He's not going to give your child cancer. Anti-vax parents refuse to get their children vaccinated, and this has and will make my cousin even worse. Edit. Wow, I honestly wasn't expecting this to blow up like it did. Thanks for the silver and the upvotes. It really means a lot. And for those wondering, my cousin is one of the strongest people I know. Despite his cancer, he still acts like every other kid. He runs around and plays. He's someone I admire a lot. My family and I are grateful for everyone that has helped us in this time. Why do you, a health professional, not want to date my son? Okay, so I'm currently studying towards becoming a nurse, and I've been working on a ward that sees all kinds of patients. But the most common person we get are young men, teens, 20s. I'm still quite young and vaguely attractive, so I occasionally get attention from clients who don't always keep it professional, but for the most part, everyone is chill. And we know entitled parents have no chill, so here we go. The cast. Me, entitled mom, entitled son, nurse. So entitled son, about 17, was in PACU, post-anesthetic care unit, when I started my shift. I and another nurse went to retrieve him, but he was still very groggy and honestly a little too touchy-feely, so I put it down to him being half asleep and not being in his right mind. I come back later when he's fully awake and do OBS. The whole time I know he's flirting with me, but I gently rebuff him and keep things professional, until the very end. Entitled son. Hey, so I'm thinking, when I'm out of here, do you want to get some coffee sometime? Me. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm here doing my job, and it's unprofessional to be involved with clients outside of their care. He seems to drop it with a little attitude, but I thought I got my point across. No more than 20 minutes later, entitled mom storms up to the nurse's station, demanding to see whoever had interacted with entitled son. Me. Hi, is everything okay with entitled son? I can come with you to his room if you need to discuss his care. Entitled mom. Entitled son just told me how rudely you have treated him and you should be reported for neglectful care. Me, very taken aback and honestly probably looking like a deer in headlights. I'm sorry? Entitled mom. How dare you tell my son that he's ugly and doesn't have a chance in hell with you? You should have said yes on the spot because he is so out of your league. You're not even that pretty, and you're fat, so I don't even want him dating you anyway. Me, excuse me? I would never say anything like that. All I said was, nurse, OP, what's going on? I blank stare. Entitled mom, this bimbo nurse was completely rude to my son, and I want her to apologize to him right now. Nurse, I'm sure there is some miscommunication here. I can assign someone else to entitled son right now. Some more conversation goes down, where nurse manages to convince entitled mom that entitled son was exaggerating a tad, and that I would have stayed within my professional boundaries. She grumbles a lot, but takes what she can get. For the rest of the stay, however, I got death stares from entitled mom, but nothing more than sheepish glances from entitled son because he knew he'd been called out on his BS. I just thanked my lucky stars he never asked me for a bed bath. Well, that about wraps it up. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and bell. By the way, I just started a Discord server for anyone looking to be part of the LaughNapkin community. Link in the description below. See you next time!